Hi folks, this is All the Fruit, and today continued my experiments with baobab fruit, which I harvested here on the beautiful island of Tenerife. Hello! I'm in the hostel kitchen, so there is a lot of commotion here. Just don't be worried when you hear a lot of background noises. I wouldn't have made a second video, but I had so many interesting new insights today when I refined my recipes that I decided it's really necessary to have a video. Well, for the first thing, I have here two baobab trees. This fruit here is from one tree from Gambia, with quite tasteless fruit. That's why I used a lot of it for the smoothies today, and ended up not really with smoothies, but with something that is quite congealed. Almost, I bet if I put it in the fridge for a couple hours, I would be able to turn them over and make some desserts. And then I noticed those two big fruit were not completely ripe. The flesh was not completely dry, but more importantly, the seeds were not completely dry. So the seeds are edible without much trouble. Here I have a mixture of the seeds of more ripe fruit, which are very hard to chew. So let's see, well, do I even have, well, let's start with trying the baobab flesh. There are small remnants of this powdery flesh here. Not very strong taste in this specific tree. Both trees are Adanzonia digitata, but they taste very different. It's like two different apples or two different mangoes can also taste quite different. So this is not very sour and not very sweet. Now I made three smoothies, three milkshakes actually, with the same recipe. Basically, you put the flesh with the seeds together with sugar and milk in the blender, blend it, and after that strain it. But this one is less concentrated, this one is more concentrated, and this one is with the mix of this baobab tree and the fruit from a different, more sour baobab tree. Then I noticed that the seeds are still quite soft, and actually with the milk and especially the sugar, they taste quite nice. And here I have for comparison the seeds which are not that soft. Let's start with trying our milkshakes. As you can see, this is more like a porridge. Actually I disturbed it. Nice and sweet. And I think the baobab had some sourness, the sugar some sweetness, the milk is basically the background for everything, but those chopped up seeds, they had some nice nutty flavor, so quite good. Here is here is the same thing, but really concentrated, and look at that. That's not the liquid anymore, that's a dessert actually. Let me get another. Let me get one more plate and turn it over. I didn't put it in the fridge, but I think this one, even without being in the fridge, should be hard enough. Oh, come on! It's only making strange sounds, but it doesn't want to come out. Okay, almost. Not a perfect sand patty, but good enough. Like this is really more of a solid dessert. Same taste, but not sweet, but not liquid, but solid. Now let's try the third one. Or was this the first one? Okay folks, everything back. The first one, I was wondering why it's so liquid. Because I just made it. Those have been sitting for much longer. See this one, despite not very concentrated, it is also more or less solid. They are both not bad, but the sourness is very mild. This one from the other tree, from which I have no fruit left, those are from the not so good tree. This one from the other tree is a much more rich taste. The sourness is much stronger. And it's not just the sourness. It's a wonderful flavor. How shall I describe it? It's not lemony sourness, definitely not. It's a more yogurty sourness, which is missing in this one. So really, the tree from Senegal with the small puny fruit is much better than this tree from Gambia with those big beautiful fruit. Well, I mean, this would also already be interesting enough for a complete video, but now comes the completely new thing. Those two big fruit, this one and another one, the seeds were not completely hardened. Oh, look at that. Maybe the stuff which congeals them comes from the seeds. Look at this seed pile, it's already quite solid. Chewing them is still a lot of work. This pile is from this one, the one I made first. Chewing them is still a lot of work. But you get a nice nutty inside with a bit of sweetness and milkiness, because this is basically the trash, the stained remnants what didn't go into a smoothie. Yeah, chewing them is hard work. I think most of you wouldn't do it. That for me, it's totally worth the trouble. The nuts don't have a very strong taste. They taste like nuts, like seeds. Nothing too special, but nothing too bad either. Now let's try them here. Here I couldn't remove everything from the sieve couldn't remove everything, so there is more flesh and there should also be more sweetness with the same type of seeds. Yeah. It's basically a mix of this here and this here. Not basically, that's what it is, literally. No, sweet. But you need just as much work for chewing the seeds. Maybe if I used an even younger baobab fruit, it would be better. Now just for comparison, here I have the seeds of older baobab fruit. Okay. Much harder than wood. I could eat them, but I won't do it right now. So it's really fun playing with rare fruit like baobabs. Unfortunately, I do it on very rare occasions, but this time it was really worth the trouble. It got me 2 nice additional baobab videos and taught me a lot of things. So folks, one little warning. If you want to try a lot of baobab recipes, most of you will only be able to get baobab fruit powder from a supermarket. Those are being... Okay, there is an Italian behind me. It's very hard talking louder than in Italian. I would say it's probably impossible. But yeah, most of the baobab powder you find will be from plantations or from over-harvesting of natural baobab groves. Better don't buy it. I harvested those fruit myself from trees which are ornamental here in parks. Don't buy baobab powder in the supermarket or in the drugstore or wherever it's being sold in your country. If you buy it once to try it, but don't make it part of your regular diet. You are helping destroying wonderful natural habitats in Africa. So better don't do it. But apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and sometimes very loud island of Tenerife. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.